you doing today? I hope that you are doing amazing and fantastic and wonderful. Today's video is a stack of books, a stack of thrillers, if you will, that are on my shelf that I feel like I need to read. And I'm super excited. If there is a thriller that you think I would love, let me know down below because I'll go check it out from the library. But I have an addiction to Simone St. James, which you guys know, so there's a good starting point, I guess. But without further ado, let's get started. So I have heard really good reviews of Lucy Foley's The Guest List, but I've also heard that it is a popcorn thriller that is crap as well. I'm not sure. It did sound really good when I read the synopsis off of Book of the Month Club. It kind of reminds me of And Then There Was None by Agatha Christie, which was one of my very first Agatha Christie books, but it says it's the wedding of the year, but someone won't survive it. On a remote island off the coast of Ireland, guests gather to celebrate the wedding of Jules Keegan and Will Slater. Will is a rising TV star, handsome and charming. Jules is a smart, ambitious magazine publisher. Though the sea is a little choppy and the cell service is spotty, their wedding is everything you'd expect of a young power couple. Designer dress, 4-tiered cake, boutique whiskey, vintage champagne. Every detail has been curated to perfection, and all that's left to orchestrate is the happiness. But perfection is for plans, and people are all too human. It's not long after the cake is cut and the champagne popped that resentments and petty jealousies come out. Worse yet, the latest barometer reading shows the weather has shifted from fair to changeable, and dark clouds are looming overhead. Everyone on the island has a secret, everyone has a motive, and someone won't leave this wedding alive. It's like a closed door mystery, which I love closed door mysteries. They are super good. I love that it's on an Irish island. I loved Ireland when I went, so it's giving me all the feels, but I'm afraid, what if I don't like it? I mean, I've had it for a while. This was my, what was this pick for? This was my, normally it says, oh, April 2020 pick. So a year ago, and it's still been on my shelf, but what do you guys think? The next one I have is Every Last Fear by Alex Finlay. This was graciously sent to me by the publishing company, and it sounds really good. So they found the bodies on a Tuesday. So begins this twisty and breathtaking novel that traces the fate of the Pine family, a thriller that will both leave you on the edge of your seat and move you to tears. After a late night of partying, NYU student Matt Pine returns to his dorm to devastating news. Nearly his entire family, his mom, his dad, his little brother and sister, have been found dead from an apparent gas leak while vacationing in Mexico. The local police claim it was an accident, but the FBI and State Department seem far less certain, and they won't tell Matt why. I am just... I get really attached to characters, and I'm really close to my sister, my little sister, and I don't know how much emotion I can take about someone whose little brother died, but it does sound really good, and it sounds like there's a conspiracy. I love the cover with, you know how in cop shows or conspiracy theorists have a wall of all of the newspaper clippings, and they've got tacks and strings and everything. That's what this sounds like, and I feel like I really need to get into it. The next one I have is The Death of Miss Westaway by Ruth Ware. This was amazingly sent to me by Literature Reads, and I still haven't gotten into reading it, even though it's been on my shelf, and I know that I will love it. I'm wanting to read it. Okay. On a day that begins like any other, Harriet Westaway receives a mysterious letter bequeathing her a substantial inheritance from her grandmother. Seems normal, right? Completely normal. Hal knows there's been a mistake. Her grandparents have been dead for more than 20 years, and she hasn't had anyone to help her since her mother died 3 years ago. But the bills are piling up, and Hal is running out of options. Down on her luck and worn thin by the weight of adulthood, Hal can't help wonder if the cold reading skills she's honed as a tarot card reader might help her claim the money. Soon, Hal finds herself in Trepassin, the sprawling estate in the English country where the deceased Mrs. Westaway's family has gathered to pay their respects and claim their bequest. But it doesn't take long for Hal to realize there's something very, very wrong about this strange situation, and the inheritance is at the center of it. Sounds so good. All right, last but certainly not least, this is a book that, shocker, I heard about from the Currently Reading podcast, and it's the Magpie Murders. So this series is really, really well renowned. I'm so confused as to why I hadn't ever heard of it before, but it's the Magpie Murders by Anthony Horowitz. I love the beveled pages here. I got the first two at Gardner's, my used bookstore. But it says Alan Conway is a best-selling crime writer. His editor, Susan Ryland, has worked with him for years, and she's intimately familiar with his detective, Atticus Pound, who solves mysteries disturbing sleepy English villages. Alan's traditional formula pays homage to the queens of classic British crime, such as Agatha Christie and Dorothy Sayers. It's proved hugely successful, so successful, that Susan must continue to put up with his troubling behavior if she wants to keep her job. When Susan receives Alan's latest manuscript, in which Atticus Pound investigates a murder at Pye Hall, an English manor house, she has no reason to think that it will be any different than the others. There will be dead bodies, a cast of intriguing suspects, and plenty of red herrings and clues. But the more Susan reads, the more she realizes there's another story hidden in the pages of the manuscript. One of ambition, jealousy, and greed. And soon, that will lead to murder. Magpie Murders. So those are the 4 thrillers that are on my shelf as of right now that I really want to read and get into. Hopefully I'll have time soon. These are not small books, but I'm hoping that I will be able to dive into them. So what are some thrillers that you absolutely love that I probably need to add to my ever-growing TBR list? Let me know down below. That's the end of this chapter of Courtagonist. Please give this video a thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, guys, happy reading. Bye.